Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time, another video without my glasses. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the risk of permanent job loss. I think all of us need to prepare for this new reality and why unemployment benefits should not be cut right now. I'll make an economist's case for why unemployment benefits should not be cut now under any circumstances. In this video, I'm going to go over three things. Number one, the fact that nearly 11% of the workforce may lose their job permanently. Yes, you heard that right, permanently. Number two, why now is absolutely the worst time to cut benefits. This is not the time to cut benefits. And number three, I'll give you some best moves to protect your own future in this situation. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. If you are a new subscriber, please consider subscribing below. Please also enable the notifications button so you get instant updates going forward. And if you learn something new from this video, I would really appreciate it if you can just take 1 second of your time to click the like button. Also, before I begin, I want to give you a quick update on the status of stimulus negotiations. At this point, as you know, President Trump talked about an executive order to implement some payroll tax cuts, and the senior Senator Chuck Grassley specifically said, I don't ever remember us giving to the president that kind of authority. Now remember, this is a Republican senator talking about the president. He said, I don't ever remember us giving to the president that kind of authority. The president should not have that kind of authority. The power to tax is a power of the Congress of the United States. So I just wanted to give you that latest stimulus related information that just came about. Now, let's jump right into the article that I mentioned earlier. According to an article on CNBC recently, 17.6 million unemployed Americans probably will not return to their pre-pandemic jobs. Just over 1 in 10 Americans who are out of work because of the pandemic don't have a good chance of getting back to their old jobs, according to recent research from the Economic Policy Institute. According to Heidi Shierholz, who's a senior economist and director of policy at EPI, about 11.9 million Americans who are unemployed as a result of the pandemic, or about 7.2% of the workforce, have no hopes of returning to their old jobs, while 5.7 million workers, or 3.5% of people, expect to be called back to work, but probably won't, according to Heidi. On your screen, you'll see a chart from the Economic Policy Institute with different shades of red. And this chart is a breakdown of the share of the workforce that is either officially unemployed or otherwise out of work as a result of the pandemic. And it's going to measure how likely they are to be called back according to recent data from the Economic Policy Institute. The darkest portion indicates zero chance of being called back to a prior job, and the lighter shades indicate that individuals can be reasonably expected to be called back. In fact, it goes beyond ethnicity and actually examines gender. It gives you the same information about the likelihood of getting back to work for African American women, African American men, Hispanic women, Hispanic men, Asian women, Asian men, white women, and white men. It also gives you the same type of information for individuals based on their education level, less than high school, some college education, a bachelor's degree, and advanced degree. So you can check out this chart, and this gives you a clear indication of the threat of long-term job destruction, according to the Economic Policy Institute. Also on your screen, you'll see an article from the Economic Policy Institute. This was from a few weeks ago, and I will analyze one of their more recent articles as well. But here are the important points in the key takeaways of this article. If you look at the second paragraph of that article, you'll see it says, that means the share of the workforce that is out of work and has no reasonable chance of being called back to a prior job is 10.7%. So that's a significant portion. That's 1 in every 10 individuals. It also says all three of these unemployment rates are extremely elevated across all demographic groups. However, the highest rates are found amongst black and brown workers, women, and particularly Hispanic, Asian, and black women. Young workers and workers with lower levels of education have also been hit disproportionately hard. In other words, individuals belonging to a certain ethnic group and individuals of a certain education level have been hit the hardest. And I've mentioned this before, there are specific industries like travel, like entertainment, like hospitality, that have been impacted the worst. So you can see how the link between the industries that have been impacted and the ethnicity and the education level of the individuals who've been impacted is a match, which means certain individuals and certain sectors have been disproportionately impacted by this pandemic. In fact, Heidi Shierholz, who's a senior economist and director of policy at the Economic Policy Institute, wrote a more recent article, and the subject of the article is UI claims and GDP growth are historically bad. So you can see the article on your screen, and I will link you to that article in the description below, so you definitely want to check that out in the references section. She wrote, now is not the time to cut benefits that are supporting jobs. In fact, there were 3 figures in the article that are particularly fascinating. Let's take a look at the first figure on your screen right now. And this figure answers the question, if the weekly unemployment insurance increase is cut by $400, how many jobs will it cost over the next year? So in other words, if it goes from $600 a week down to $200 a week, how many jobs are actually going to be lost over the next year? As you can see on your screen, we're checking out a few different states. If you want to check out the impact on your particular state, you can click on the article in the link in the description below and definitely go ahead and check that out for your particular state. But you can see the job cost as a level and as a share of employment ranges from 1% for some states to as high as 3% for other states, as you can see on your screen right now. So that was the first figure. Let's take a look at the second figure, which shows you the Department of Labor reports, and the Department of Labor reported that 33.8 million workers are either on unemployment benefits or have applied and are waiting to see if they'll actually get benefits. So this chart on your screen right now actually shows you a breakdown of individuals who are on regular state unemployment benefits, that's the dark blue portion, who are on regular state unemployment initial claims process stage, who are on the PUA, which is essentially the program for those who are self-employed, who are on the PUA program, the continued claims as well as the initial claims portion, and other programs, specifically the PEUC and the STC program. So you can see this is a substantial, we're talking tens of millions of people on these programs that are dependent on these programs, which is another reason against the argument for cutting back unemployment benefits significantly. Now let's take a look at the third chart on your screen, which shows you continuing unemployment claims across all programs. This is surprising when you look at this, when you look at the scope of this chart and how it literally exploded in the second half of March, going all the way into July and August. The dark blue portion shows you the regular state unemployment insurance, the red portion shows you the PUA program, and the gray portion shows you other programs, mostly the PEUC program. You'll see that well over 30 million individuals are now on these programs. And again, this is data from January. So you can actually compare pre-pandemic, which is January, February, majority of March, and then you can see the significant increase in the numbers in April, May, June, July, and now heading into August. So this was data from January all the way through the 11th of July 2020. So that was it, everybody. That was a content portion of my video. Again, I'm going to segue into a song now because I'm finding a lot of my viewers are enjoying that. So if you want to sit back and chill with me and get through the song, I invite you to stay. Otherwise, this again was the end of the content portion of this video. If you learned something new, please click the like button. Please also enable notifications and please click the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that because that helps out the YouTube algorithm and that helps me personally because a lot of time and effort goes into the creation of these videos. So based on the content in this video, I recommend that you actually call your senator, you talk to your senator and tell them exactly what you feel about the unemployment benefits. So I've given you a lot of information and content on my channel and you can use that information to make your own decision. Check out the links in the references in the description section below. Read and come to your own decision about what you feel here. And if you feel one way or another, just call your senator and talk to them so that they know how you feel. That's an important thing that you can do. Also in the description section below, I'll link you to how you can get the phone number, how you can get the contact information of your local senator. So definitely talk to them and let them know how you feel. Now let me segue into how I can suggest that you try and protect your future. I think in this scenario, a lot of us have to learn new skills. A lot of us have to re-engineer our skills, whether we want to start our own business, whether we want to get back to our previous employer, maybe go to a new employer. We have to be able to re-engineer our skills. We're essentially forced to do it, whether we like it or not. I recommend that you use free sources like YouTube, like you're watching right now. There are lots of free educational workshops. Just Google it and find ways to improve your skills. There are a lot of excellent videos out there where you don't have to pay a dime. If there are courses that you can take, online courses, a lot of them offer discounts. You can even email them and ask them if there are some discounts or sales running because they know that everybody's in the same situation right now. Use this time wisely to enhance your skills, to start saving, to get better at money management, to get better at investing and build a foundation for a much stronger financial future, because we will get through this someday. But the question is, when we get through it, will you emerge stronger, smarter, lighter and faster, or will you go back to your old ways where you find yourself walking a tightrope, where you find yourself on a razor's edge financially? I don't want that for any of my viewers. I've mentioned this before. I have much bigger goals and aspirations for my viewers. In fact, I want my viewers to take control of their destiny and to establish a dynasty, which is basically what I've done. I came to this country with nothing, and if you don't know my story, you can definitely check it out. But I want you to essentially establish your own dynasty. So I actually wrote a song called Dynasty, and I think that a lot of us in this situation, we're asking ourselves, why am I depending on unemployment benefits? A lot of my viewers and subscribers are actually screaming in the night silently. In a sense, it's humiliating depending on unemployment benefits, checking the internet for news on unemployment benefits. And you don't admit this, but a lot of us actually feel it. And I understand, because I've actually talked to individuals who've confided in me about that. I want you to know I understand, and I want you to build your own dynasty when we get through this. I want you to take control of your own destiny. In a sense, we've lost some sense of privacy in this situation because we're now all aggregating for information on unemployment benefits. Again, I have bigger goals, bigger aspirations for you beyond all of this stuff. A lot of us are frightened. A lot of us think this is a travesty. A lot of us think, the audacity of the government to keep us waiting, not to give us money that's owed to us. I get it. I understand. And at the end of the day, I want to help you through all of this anxiety. And I want to help you get through this, which is why I wrote this song, Dynasty. I wrote the song, I did the vocals. The beat is completely original. In fact, all the beats on my channel are completely original and custom created for us at the Ignition Time channel. I've hired some pretty phenomenal audio mixers who've taken my somewhat limited skills and tried to make it palatable and consumable. So there you go. This is a premiere of the song Dynasty. This one's for you, my viewers. I appreciate you. I will always be here for you. Let's listen to Dynasty. This song is called Dynasty. It is my truth and it is my honesty. It makes me question my humanity as I scream in the night silently. My whole life I've lived righteously, and I'm getting ahead finally. I've lived my life honestly. I've done good, I've lived rightfully. But now it's all been taken away, seized from me violently. Nothing I did to deserve this. I've lost my soul, I've lost my privacy. I thought I was getting ahead finally, but now I live my life frightfully. Dependent on a stimulus check to pay rent, what a travesty. Dependent on a handout, on unemployment, their audacity. No way, this is not my dynasty. It's causing me so much anxiety. Is this what's become of American society? Let's end the pretense of propriety. But I'm okay, I have my humanity. I will prevail, I will get back my vibrancy. Someday this will end all this insanity. Oh, what an irony, this world, this travesty. This song is called Dynasty. It is my truth, it is my honesty. It makes me question my humanity as I scream in the night silently.